That sewing, I don't know if you remember. That sewing I had in Westminster, that was black fatigue. That was a mess. You don't remember that? I was working at the nursing home. I was like 18, 19 years old. I tried to try one of those sew-ins, child. I was like, never again.
We are live,
I said, never
family.
again.
We are live. Shalom, shalom, family. Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the live. I want to say back to the channel. Welcome to the live.
They're replacing the middle class. I'm telling you, this is crazy. This is like, I don't know what to say. It's like reading the book. If you ever heard of that book, 1984, I forget who it's by. It's like reading the book, Leave the World Behind. It's like all of it wrapped in one because the middle class is deleted. It's decimated. It's not going to exist. What do you think of this?
This is wild. Like, it's something that we don't really think about, but it is very important. Like, that's what people have to know. That's what people have to understand. Like, things are happening, but you have to realize, hey, what's happening? Because it's like, obviously, the middle class is very important, and most of the population, pretty much in America, is middle class. Like, what's the definition of middle class? What's the numbers like?
Yeah, I mean, it changed because as we're about to listen to in these videos, 2019 middle class was like anywhere from 50K to 80K, right? But now the middle class is anywhere from 100K to 200K. And so it's like if you're not in that tax bracket, then you are not in the middle class. And that's why we say they're deleting the middle class, because it's going to be the haves and the have-nots. It's going to be the ultra wealthy and the ultra poor. It's going to be the tech bros and their folks and the people who just got the short side of the stick and didn't prepare. I think the main thing in all of this is that you can always prepare.
Yeah.
That's the main thing to understand. Like, just because the middle class is about to be deleted, it's about to be depleted, doesn't mean that you just have to get the short side of the stick. You can be accountable. You can choose the type of life that you want to live. You are not thrown horrible cards. Like, don't believe stuff like that. Know that you can change your life, because what we're about to see with this middle class is like, I think we should just go to the video. I know when you first saw the video, you were like, geez, this is a crazy breakdown. And we wanted to preference the fact and share a lot of videos from not only Black America, but white America. Because I think a lot of people, or not even a lot, because literally Black America is 12% of the population. Some of the people in our community are in the dark, and they're not used to being in other communities, understanding what other people think and what they're going through. But the better and easier it becomes for you to go in other communities and understand the dynamics, especially as an American, because America is not a Black society, number one. So it's going to be easier for you to understand the dynamics if you're like, okay, well, what do other people say about this? What do other people think? What do other industries think? That's an important aspect to think about and to learn about. So I think we should play the
video. Is key, right? Really. You hear it time after time. I don't know what you listen to, whatever, but preparation is really key for the future. Because okay, we back. So I don't know if you guys seen some stuff, but we had to switch Wi-Fi's or whatever. But we about to play this video, guys. Make sure you like the video if you are prepared, or even if you're not prepared. You get what I'm saying? Make sure you like the video.
Yeah, because the 100K salary is the new middle class. You know, I can remember a time when like you would say 100K and it was like so out there. It was like, oh my gosh, 100K. Like, what do you mean 100K? But now making 100K is the norm, just in a time span of 5 years. So it's like, what do you think it's going to be like in the next 10 years?
You don't have to be an economist to know that the middle class salary is now $100,000. In 2019, $40,000 to $50,000 would buy you a middle class life. In 2024, it's $100,000. Even if you look at my life, my wife and I bought a $400,000 home, which is the average home in America. We drive 2 Volkswagens, not BMWs. The payment total is $850. We do spend $1,000 a month on groceries. We eat healthy, whole foods. We make our coffee at home. We don't do Starbucks. We have a 401k, health insurance, car insurance, gas, cell phone. My wife does get her hair and nails done once a month. We go to date night every single Friday, but at like a local tavern or even Chili's for $100. And our bills, monthly bills, are $7,000 a month. And we have no credit cards, no student loans, and we don't have children. I can't imagine when people tell me that their daycare is $2,500 and their student loan is $500. I'm like, that would make our monthly bills $10,000. What? So the reason we keep bringing this up is that we don't want to see a repeat in the next 5 years of it going to 150 or 200,000 for the middle class. Like, we're watching the middle class just be pushed right out. You don't have to be an economist to know that the middle class salary is now.
Yeah, think about that. Like, y'all really got to think about that. That's something. That is really something. Like, wow. Like, wow, 100,000, and he broke everything down. And I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna play the video again because I know some people need it.
Yeah, we should have stayed on that so we could read those costs to see like if people's costs are similar to that in America. And it's crazy how he said just in 2019, we haven't been in America since 2020. It's like, since what? How does it almost double, 2.5 times what it used to be? Like, that's insane. That's really insane.
$100,000. In 2019, $40,000 to $50,000 would buy you a middle class life. In 2024, it's $100,000. Even if you look at my life, my wife and I bought a $400,000 home, which is the average home in America. We drive 2 Volkswagens, not BMWs. The payment total is $850. We do spend $1,000.
$850 for the Volkswagen. $3,200 with utilities for the rent. Okay, that's not too
a month on groceries.
I don't know what state he's in, but that's actually not too bad. Some cities in America are much worse.
We eat healthy, whole foods. We make our coffee at home. We don't do Starbucks. We have a 401k, health insurance, car insurance, gas, cell phone. My wife does get her
cell phone $200. You remember those days? Oh my gosh, our cell phone bill is like $7.
Hair and nails done once a month. We go to date night every single Friday, but
hair and nails $300
at like a local tavern or even Chili's for $100. And our bills, monthly bills, are $7,000 a month. And
$7,650 a month currently. And that's like kind of modest. Like, imagine, like he said, if he had a family, like they're just a married couple. And again, this is a white American, typically, as the propaganda likes to state, it would be like, oh, well, white America's doing much better and they're much well off than the Black community and all these things. But it's like, that's not actually what's happening. We see something totally different happening. But let's move on. Let's go to the next video, because this decimation of the middle class is happening. They're replacing the middle class, and I'm not even sure what they're replacing the middle class with. Maybe some of the people that they have in like Saudi Arabia that are coming over, Dubai. I know Dubai is doing a lot of building, creating data centers in Ohio, but they may not even be quote unquote replacing the middle class. They just want it to be the haves and the haves nots, the poors and the super ultra wealthy.
Hunger Games.
At the national level, the middle class is typically defined as households with an annual income ranging between $53,740 and $161,220.
Wow. The annual income range for the middle class Americans started out at $53,000, okay? $53,740. But let's keep going. Now it's at $161,000.
But middle-class Americans like Kyle Connolly from Pensacola, Florida, says life has quickly grown unaffordable.
Financially, things have definitely been a struggle for me. I don't know how, but every single month I somehow managed to get by. And I'm left with, maybe this past month, I was left with $125 in my checking account.
Dang, think about that. I know a lot of people feel that, like, it's like, dang, how am I doing this? Like, how am I surviving? But you are, but it's just going to increase. It's just going to increase. That's what people have to like, the income just surviving.
The cost of living
The
is
cost of living,
increase.
everything, just everything's going to increase, and this is a situation month to month.
Yeah, in America, but I think one of the reasons we see so many Americans leaving America, you have a large community of Americans
It's the
that now
cost of
live in
living,
South
yeah.
Africa, Thailand, Kenya. Like people are leaving Dubai. And a lot of these other countries across the world know that it's crazy to live in America. And so they're coming out with 10-year self-employed permits, digital nomad visas. They're making it easier for people. Y'all remember China just a few weeks ago? They were saying that, hey, you can come over visa free for a while and come shop over here because we know how difficult it is for you in the States. So it's like, it's just a different time. It's an interesting time. It's a wonderful time if you're on the right side of it. But, you know, whatever you got to do to save your money to leave America, do that because it's going to get worse. Remember, we left America in 2020. You see how the cost of living is not a conspiracy anymore. It's not fear mongering. This is reality for Americans, not just Black Americans. The average American, this is the reality for.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it's just up to you. It's your choice. You gotta want it. You really gotta want it.
That's it.
As of June 2024, 65% of middle-class Americans said they were struggling financially and don't
Think about that. June 2024. That was a whole year ago. To be honest, a whole year ago.
Yeah.
expect their situation to improve for the rest of their lives.
It's a part of the income distribution.
Pause. They said for the rest of their lives. They said, Americans said, 65% of Americans said they don't think this will be better for their entire life. Their entire life. They feel like they're stuck. They feel like they're trapped in a system, a matrix. That's what it is. We realized that years ago, and it was like, this is on a trajectory straight to hell, for lack of a better word.
Just got to get out of the matrix, and that's what it is. I know it's videos. I know it's information that's out there where it's like, oh, this is a matrix. You get what I'm saying? It's some type of seed that you see, but you gotta let that seed grow. Get out of the matrix.
Yeah.
Distribution that has felt a lot of pain in the wake of the pandemic. And it wasn't something that just economists were tracking. It was something that was really felt on the household level. You know, people felt it in their grocery bills. People felt it at the gas pump.
At the national level, the middle class is typically defined as households with an annual income ranging between $53,740 and $161,220. But middle-class Americans like Kyle Connolly from Pensacola, Florida, says life has quickly.
Man.
But think about that. Is that something that, you know, people had? Huh?
That video's over.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying right here, man. But just think about it, y'all. Right? Is this something that you are in between? Are you middle class? Are you below it? Are you above it? Really think about that. Because the people that make this salary here is middle class, and you really got to figure out, what are you going to do? How can you beat this? You have to, it's really the cost of living when it comes down to it, the cost of living. Like, it's a better life out there for you guys.
Where?
Just outside of America. Outside of America, that's just what it is. Like, really, you just got to do your research. And that's why we're here. That's why we have this YouTube, to try to get the information to people like, hey, you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
Like, of course, it's going to be something new, but you got to keep your head down, be obedient to what you want. And that's just what it is. That's really what it is.
Yeah, you got to think outside the box, you know, and there are more opportunities. We always say this, but there are more opportunities available to you now than there were in 2019, 2020. I'm telling you, there are more opportunities. They have these free self-employed entrepreneur, but here's the caveat. You can't get a self-employed entrepreneur visa if you're not an entrepreneur. That's why we have our course, our 8-week accelerator, Black Educators Amplified. We're on cohort 6 right now. It's closed for registration, but we have just also come out with the mini course, $205 mini course. It spans 21 to 30 days where we help you create your marketing strategy. It is a video course because we see too many times new entrepreneurs just don't understand how to bring a product to market. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand freelancing. I've even seen, I was listening to a video from Anton Daniels, and he was talking about how a lot, especially in Black America, a lot of people think they don't need career coaching, think they don't need mentorship. And he said that's how he got to where he is in his career. People think, okay, just because I have an MBA, just because I have a bachelor's, that should just get me right into the door. Then they find out it's not. And a lot of people cry racism, like, oh, it's racism that's doing it. And it's like, no, it may be because you don't know how to sell yourself. It may be because you don't have career coaching. It may be because the candidates that they talk to have better soft skills. These are things that need to be thought about before just screaming everything's racism. It's like, no, do you really have that excellence, or do you believe because you have a degree that that's just going to get you through the door? I remember, I don't know if we could find that Instagram post, but you showed it to me. It was so funny. It was like corporate America. And no, I think our friend, I think my friend sent it. I wonder if we could find it. But it was a post on corporate America and how this white guy was sitting up there, and he was like the senior person in the company. And he was just explaining on the Zoom call a bunch of nothing. He was saying nothing at all. They were like, how can we drive more revenue? And he was like, yeah, well, one of the ways that we can potentially think about doing more is to come back. And, you know, we've thought about this with the people, just saying all this generic stuff.
Like, literally, it was funny. It was funny. I'm like, I was focused. I'm like, dang, what's he about to say? He sounded so good. He know how to do the wordplay. So he was saying like, oh, John, yeah, I know we talked about this briefly, and then like, yeah, oh, and then this and that, and then he go to another person talking about the same thing, but he really not saying nothing.
Yeah, he would go to all four people and say, hey, Brent, you know, we were talking about blah, 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 and we think this would be great.
It was like, what? This is what goes behind the scenes of people of getting paid $200,000.
That's why they got fired.
Yeah, and then they sit back like, oh, yeah, continue. I'm sorry, go ahead, continue. And then everybody in the meeting like, what were you about to say? You was about to say something, but you didn't say it. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, I was right there. I'm thinking that he's about to say something, but he didn't say nothing.
Yeah, which again opens it up for freelance consultants to come in, because think the mindset of a W-2 employee that feels like the company owes them something and they have an entitled mindset, that person is costing the company and they're dragging everybody down, to be quite honest, black or white. But the mindset of a freelance consultant, they have their website, they have their product marketing together, they have their portfolio, they have their pitch, so they can speak to the company and say, hey, I've driven X, Y, and Z KPIs for this company. I can probably do the same for yours if we initiate this specific process, okay? And so you go and pitch that to somebody, and they're looking at the other workers on their team, and you know, most of the Zoom calls are recorded, so they're like, why do we have these? We're paying these people $200K per year when you can have a freelance marketing consultant, a freelance graphic specialist, a freelance education consultant, a freelance accountant come in and drive better revenue for less money than the employees.
Yeah, because this is what you do. This is what you do. It's not a team trying to figure this out. This is individuals that's doing this, that's experts at it.
Yeah, just like in the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, there was this chapter that stuck out, and the author is talking about, I actually have it here, maybe it's downstairs, but the author was talking about how you should be on less Zoom calls, even as a CEO, as a founder. Find a way to be on less Zoom calls, because most of the time, you know, a lot of people are just gossipy, chatty. It's like, is this even driving results? 9 times out of 10, you don't need a Zoom call for everything. 9 times out of 10, you just need to execute. Somebody needs to execute the strategy, the end. Whether it's marketing, whether it's human resources, whether it's accounting, somebody needs to put those numbers in and come up with the projections and execute the strategy, the end. So this is why it's such a good time for freelancers, but not a good time for W-2 employees who are doing literally nothing. Sitting on the job, having Zoom meetings 20 times a week for no reason, where nobody's getting anything done. That's part of the reason the middle class is going to be desolate. You got to take accountability on both sides. Part of it's AI, but then the other part is like, well, if you're not better than AI, then why are people going to waste their money? They're not. They're not going to do it, especially a small business under 5 million in revenue. But even you see Microsoft is a big business and they're like, we're not wasting our money either.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the wealthy don't waste money. The wealthy count every dime and watch the data, watch the projections, and they're like, these employees are not bringing clear ROI.
And then the CEOs is stepping down for some type of reason. We ain't gonna get into that, but that's just what it is. It's a lot of things that's happening right now where CEOs is actually stepping down from their position just to be that to get their money and stuff, to understand what is happening in the future.
What do you mean? I don't understand why they're stepping down. Why are they stepping
because
down?
they know what's to come. They know what's to come.
What's to come?
Hardship, put it like that.
I don't understand why they're stepping down, to be honest.
Because they tired. They just see what's to come. That's just what it is.
What, with crypto? I don't understand.
Not with crypto, just with their company in general. Things are going to fall. It's that simple.
I don't think it's going to fall. I disagree. I think a lot of these companies are going to rise. I think the small companies like Payless, places like that, but I think a lot of tech companies are going to survive because they're cutting costs.
I guess when you said Microsoft, the CEO stepped down. I don't know if it's because he's old, but is that Warren Buffett? I want to say it's Warren Buffett.
No, Warren Buffett's not the CEO of Microsoft.
Who's the CEO?
Warren Buffett stepped down from a private equity firm, I think. Let me see. He stepped down. Let me see what he stepped down from, because he did step down from something.
I want to say it was like 2 months ago.
What did Warren Buffett step down from? Yeah, it's not. He's not the CEO of Microsoft. I think it's a private equity company.
Type in
but you know, he's also old. You know, he's very old.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But
when you're old,
I guess from what I see and stuff, I'm looking at Warren Buffett. He's a good investor. He grew his money a lot, and the companies that he has, he wants cash in hand, right? So if he's if he's getting cash in hand, you got to realize that he's not putting in it, because news is going to come out like, oh, Warren Buffett just deposited this amount into this company, or this amount into AI, this amount into, renewable energy. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. So the video that I saw about Warren Buffett, he's like, I got my cash in hand and there's nothing that I feel like is good to invest in. So that's telling me, like, dang, if this guy, Warren Buffett, since the 1970s grew his portfolio to trillions of dollars, and he just wants to sit on his cash and he's not investing in nothing, everything, all the hype and stuff like that is happening. Everything, all the news that's saying this and that, this is good, but he's not doing nothing. He's not acting on anything. That should kind of tell you, like, okay, like, what's really going on?
That's true.
Like, for me, I step back and look at the bigger picture and see what is really going on.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was on Moomoo. I should have I'll try to put a link to Moomoo, our broker, but they send us notifications and they were saying, gold is running again. It's surging again. It's doing its run. They're projecting right now gold is about $3,250 per ounce. By 2030, it could be $6,000. That's something safe to invest in. Gold is always going to be safe, especially if you hold on to it for the long run. But yes, like one of our commenters said, Satya, I hope I say that name right, Narayana Nadella is an Indian-born American who is the chairman of Microsoft. And listen, Warren Buffett has recently announced his decision to step down as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
That's what
Berkshire Hathaway at the end of 2025, after leading the conglomerate for 60 years. Buffett cited age-related factors, challenges with balance, memory, and eyesight as primary reasons for his resignation. He emphasized the growing gap in energy and productivity between himself and his successor, Grave Abel, who has been named to take over the CEO role next year, January 1st, 2026. Despite stepping down as CEO, Buffett will remain as chairman of the board for the time being, with no set timeline for departure. Now, in addition to his role, and that was by the New York Post and Barron, in addition to his role at Berkshire Hathaway, he resigned as a trustee of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in 2021. He stated that he had been an inactive trustee for years and that for his physical participation was no longer needed to achieve their goals. This resignation was part of his broader effort to reduce his workload. I respect that because ain't nobody trying to be overworked. Furthermore, Buffett has pledged to donate the majority of his wealth to philanthropy. He has already donated 41 billion shares, including 33 billion to the Gates Foundation. Oh yeah, that's real philanthropy, isn't it? That's fantastic.
And that's shares
Thanks
in the
to
company.
Barron's and Reuters. Those were the two. Barron's and Reuters.
That's
primary
I guess
sources.
that's what I was thinking about. Not Microsoft.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, but that's still a big company. It's like big companies that people don't see until they really do the research.
Yeah, and there's more. Because I'm glad you came on that topic. Sometimes when I'm on threads, I'll see like these economists and these authors that like tell us, hey, these are the 10 signs that the recession is coming. Wonderful content like that. I love seeing content like that. And so I just put in this prompt. I'm like, okay, show me 10 significant moves Warren Buffett made in 2025. Because like you said, if people like listen to him, you don't got to respect everything he does, but you can get wisdom from anywhere. You can get wisdom from a rock. Okay, if you have the ears to receive. So you can listen to some of the stuff he says, listen to some of the moves he's making. Like you said, he thinks there's nothing worth investing in. He doesn't usually move like that.
And this is one of the biggest investors that grew his portfolio. Like if you look on YouTube, I think it's a YouTube channel that be like the richest people since 1970s to 2005. You get what I'm saying? It's like a little graph and they put the names and it's moving around. Warren Buffett wasn't at the top, but eventually he started to get at the top. And when you really start to do research about his investing portfolio, it's like, dang. So he like investing, like when you really get into the space of investing, you really got to know what's a good investment that's going to grow your portfolio. So it is very important to, look at the people that done it, that has been in the game for years. For 60 years, he said? 60 years.
That's a lot of wisdom.
No matter what he believed in, no matter how he looked, no matter what, take the meat, eat the meat, spit out the bones.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like right now, it's nothing really to invest in from Warren Buffett. Yeah. I think differently, but from what he thinks. So
that tells you that what we've seen with the stock market crash, we're just touching the iceberg.
Yeah.
What we've seen with the trade wars, we are touching the iceberg. Mm-hmm. All these changes that we're seeing, and we invest in stocks heavily. We invest in a few different things. We invest in XRP, gold, AVGO, SoFi. We invest in a lot of different things. But the way this market has been moving is like, okay. Like I see why Warren Buffett is like, there's nothing worth investing in because a lot of times you're going to lose your money in the stock market. Yeah. You would be better off just in investing in some real good real estate
land,
in a real good area.
That's all.
The key is that you don't want it to be in an area that's on the decline because then you're going to be like the people losing money in the stocks. Okay. So you want it to be in an area that's going to be on the ups and ups, which is hard to find in America because
and to be honest, we talking about all this investing, right? The best investment, let me ask you this. What's the best investment?
Your business, hands down. Business ownership, hands down.
She answered it right, guys.
Hands down.
Really. It's really you and your mindset because this is what is going to be right in front. Like you're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to have to take care of your family. You're going to have to take care of the generations after you. The best investment is in yourself.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And once people really start to understand that and realize, hey, I am somebody. I am, you know, the CEO. I am.
You are the CEO of your life. You can be the CEO of your business. And it's more simple than people think. I think a lot of times the way we grew up in America with the
And that's the
propaganda,
move. Yeah.
they're very diabolical with the way that they articulate what you should be doing when you grow up. They give you this blueprint: go to college, work this 9 to 5, you know, pass out on the 9 to 5, and maybe they'll take 50% of your retirement. You can have the other 50%, right? That's what most people are embedded to think as they grow up. They're not teaching creativity. They're not teaching innovation. And if you're in a public inner city school, oh my gosh, you're getting the worst end of the deal, the absolute worst end, okay? When instead they could be teaching economics, they could be teaching entrepreneurship, they could be teaching, okay, let's give you a test and see what your natural gifts are. Let's see what you're naturally good at so we can then optimize and refine that to qualify and see, okay, now which industries would work best on you, not based on your grades, not based on what we think you should do, but what your natural gifts and talents are. But this would give a society where most of the regular humans are living their best life, and the tech CEOs won't be living their best lives. They depend on human capital. They depend on you to sit up for 50 years, work in these corporations, have high blood pressure, have a heart attack, have all these issues, and then you try to retire at maybe 58, 61, 63, 65, and then lo and behold, you're like, man, I got a cataract in one eye, I got heart issues, I don't even know my children, I don't know my grandchildren, I don't even know what day it is. You have all of these problems, and it's like a life wasted, to be quite honest. You look back, a lot of people who don't go out and do their own business look back, because we were watching these videos of like older people that have reached over 100 years old. A lot of them, their regrets are that they did not have free time to spend with their family, that they did not explore their passions and the things that they actually care about. And they sat up in this career, wasted their time, wasted their money, didn't learn investing. That was another thing that came up a lot with those people that reached 100. They were like, I should have learned how to invest earlier. You know, and you don't have to be some MBA in finance to learn investing. All you need to do is have eyes and the ability to read, and you can learn. It's really simple.
And ears, you got to listen, because people just don't listen sometimes. I like real quick. There's another story, and it's really it really comes down to life lessons. There's one parents that want their kids to go to do sports, to make it to the NFL, to make it to the NBA. You get what I'm saying? To have that, you know, that hope and dream, right? And there's another parent that put their kids in sports for life lessons, right? Like, why are you doing this? What is the discipline behind it? You get what I'm saying? So it really comes down to the parents, because it's getting down to a time where it's like that. This next generation that's growing is not like they really need the life lessons. They really need to understand like how to move properly in a time that is to come, because it's coming. It's not going to stop. It's really not going to stop. So it's coming, but life lessons is very important, and listening is very important, I'll say, because you got 2 ears, you got 2 eyes, and you got 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Look at it, listen, and don't say a lot.
Yeah. And understand, you know, like I was saying earlier with the propaganda in the school system has done such an injustice to humanity, especially in the West, okay? But moving on to the next topic, I want to also bring out 10 significant moves that Warren Buffett made in 2025. Obviously, we talked about how he's stepping down as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, but listen to this. Get this, y'all. He is exiting Citigroup, the bank. Berkshire Hathaway completely sold its position in Citigroup.
And real quick, like, think about this. These are shares in companies. So if, just say if you had a company, right, and I own 33% of the company, and I decide to take 33% of what I own out, that's what's happening right now. So that's why I say, like, look, you gotta realize what's going on. there's a lot of percentages that's getting taken out of companies.
Big
percentages. It's not even 33%. If you take 33% out of company, that's a lot. But this is like, if you take 5% to 10% out of a company, that's going to hurt a lot. That might be the main investor. Think about that.
Warren, but right. I'm so glad you said that, because what is to follow after this? This is almost a guarantee that Citibank is going to fall. That's almost a guarantee. Next bank. Does anybody want to guess the next bank that is going to fall? That Warren Buffett took his coins out of in 20. By the way, this isn't years ago. This is this year, 2025. 5 months into the year, he has already made these moves. Anybody want to guess the next bank? Can you guess it? I'm not going to show you yet. You guess it. What do you think the next bank? Come on, think. Just think.
Everything's going to fall. That's what I say.
One particular bank that aligns with prophecy. Think Revelations.
But I'll be doing the research. So I'm not a
Say the bank what you think it is.
I think it's Bank of America.
You're right.
You're
right, babe. Yeah. It's Bank of America.
I seen the video, so that's not fair. Yeah.
You're right.
It's like a lot of things that's in America, guys. You gotta realize, like, just think about it. It's gonna fall.
Pause real quick, y'all. If you have Citibank, if you have Bank of America, you may want to switch banks.
You might want to
say it.
You may want to look into. You may want to look into some crypto, because it's a lot of things that's happening. They're switching over. Like it literally can fall, and if you're not in that space of crypto, I'm telling you, it's going to be different, because there's a lot of things that's happening in the next 2 months that's going to affect a lot of people. And I'll say until that, I even don't want to say the end of the year. I say November. All the banks. Look, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for a second.
Yeah, you're an insider, but listen,
give it 10 seconds. Give it 10. Hold on, 10 seconds. Hey, I said, shh. Like, people got
not the Jeopardy music.
No, they gotta see and hear. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
November. All the banks is gonna switch over to a whole system. Not the old system. It's gonna be a new system. That's the deadline. So that's why I paused for a second, because people got to realize, like, this is really happening. So no matter if you don't if you don't like it, if you do like it, whatever it is,
right,
it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's going to be this is prophecy that's unfolding. That's why I said, I want to say in the last video I did, I'm like, look, you got to step back and see how things are fitting into prophecy. And pretty much everything that's happening right now is fitting into prophecy that's to come. So it's like, July, things are going to look bad. Things are going to look good. And then it's going to look bad. And then be like, I'm done. I'm out of it. And then that's when it's going to be like, everything is good.
But, it's interesting how our channel reaches people all over. A banker in the Middle East got in contact with you and told you, yeah, bro, you're right. Like, I work in this system, and it's like, what's coming is going to make Americans poor. Obviously, Donald Trump is going to be good. Bill Gates is going to be good. Elon Musk is going to be super good. The new apartheid people that just arrived, they're probably going to find a way to be good too. But most Americans, this is going to literally destroy, cripple, and decimate the American middle class economy. It becomes the haves and the have-nots. And I think the trap that people, and we've been in this trap as well. When you're starting a new business, starting a new class, starting a new program, learning new information, there's cognitive dissonance where you're like, okay, this is interrupting my current cognitive capacity. And so there's this issue where it's like there's some friction. Until you get the knowledge and you get understanding and all that get and understanding, until you get that understanding and the spirit of wisdom comes upon you. And now you have the strength and capacity to intake new information to help you in the long run. That's the trap that people fall into. This like, oh, I don't want to figure out what's going on. I don't want to look into this. This is fear. This is this. That is a trap that will keep you stagnant, especially with what's coming in the world.
Yeah. And it just goes back to, I hope people can hear this. it's enduring to the end. Like, he who endures to the end will be saved. Like, how are you? Like, I can see if somebody got their land, like, you good outside of America. You get what I'm saying? Because America, you still, if you buy land, you still gonna have to pay property tax and whatever.
Every year you miss that
But
payment. Gone.
I can see if somebody got land, they grow their own food, they grow all the food that they grow. They know how to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get what I'm saying? They good with water. They like off the grid completely. I can see somebody enduring to the end like that, right?
That already knows it.
Yeah, that already is good. But if you are not like that, you have to keep up with the times. You have to keep up what's going on to be ahead. You got to play chess. Like, for real. I be trying to teach her how to play chess.
I have you to play chess. I'm good.
And that's okay. All praises. Hallelujah.
Mhm.
But
More
it's really like, you got to know the next moves and stuff. So the information, like, that's what I'm saying. Your foundation is always going to be simple and solid of the Most High. Like, that's just what it is. So every information that comes up, everything that they're trying to distract you with, should not affect you too much. Where it's like, oh, I'm flowing over here this way and I'm flowing over here this way. No, you can see, you can look this way and be like, okay, I see what's going on. You can look this way, I can see what's going on. Let me step back and see what's really going on. And that's just what it is. Like, you have to endure to the end. You got to keep up what's going on.
I got another bank that he removed his stakes out of.
Go
You
ahead.
want to guess it? Anybody want to guess the next bank? We said already Bank of America, which is very prophetic. Bank of America, the whole representation of America. But there's another one that's kind of shocking to me. I'm like, oh, wow. He sees, so him taking his shares and his stocks out is him telling you, I don't believe this company is going to be profitable. I don't believe this company is going to move on any further. Let me move around and invest in something different. But as you said, he's holding his cash right now and saying, you know what? I don't think this is going to do better. You could just hold this in a high yield savings and just keep the cash instead of watch it depreciate. This is how people lose money in the markets.
And
this is why it's better to invest in gold. You can invest in gold through Mumu, through SoFi. You know, those are our favorites to invest in gold through. Because listen, at the end of the day, there is a famine coming to earth. Whether you receive it or not doesn't stop it from happening. You know, I bet the Hebrews, when Joseph was in Egypt, didn't want to accept that a famine was coming and they're going to have to go to Egypt and go beg the Egyptians for stuff. But whether they liked it or not, now they had to bow down to Joseph and go repent so that they could eat. So it's like, whether you enjoy the fact of the matter or not doesn't stop it from coming to pass. It only puts you in a dire situation and your family and your generations after you. That's why we always talk about, like, we make decisions to the 10th generation, meaning my emotions do not come first. Decisions to the 10th generation come first. Decisions like, oh, today I'd rather just sit up all day and watch Netflix. But is that going to benefit my legacy for the next 10 generations? Probably not. So let me get up and do some content writing. Let me send some emails. Let me do some research on X, Y, and Z in the real estate market. I do a lot of different research.
X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
It should be XRP.
XRP? I'm done with you. But yes, this famine, because listen, he reduced his stakes in Capital One. Everybody knows Capital One. You get that little Capital One credit card. They was cool, whatever. But Warren Buffett, with 60 years of experience, believes that Capital One is not going to be profitable. So if he says that, you had better be like, oh, maybe I should switch banks, go to a bank that's more profitable. Let me tell you what bank has been profitable that we invest in. It's not going to come as a shock to those who have been on this channel for the past 5 years. SoFi. We invest in SoFi. Our money's 35% increasing. But you have to know where to invest, because if you invest in something like Capital One or Bank of America, you're like, well, I just bought this stock that somebody said was great. This is why you have to know the skill of technical analysis, which is the ability to read the charts. You have technical analysis and fundamental analysis. He's technical, I'm more fundamental. Technical meaning, I can read the charts and see this uptrend, this downtrend, this resistance. I know when to enter, when to exit, all of the things. Fundamental, I look more at the news. I look at what's happening in the economy. I look at what's happening in the White House and can move from there. So when I'm investing, I invest differently than how he invests. But when you have, like the scriptures say, 2 is better than 1. 2 is always going to be better than 1. So we can both see our investing from 2 different standpoints and say, okay, now we can move and make the decisions that need to be made to buy gold. If I was you, I would buy gold. I would buy silver straight up. I would have a high yield savings account. If it's not gold, silver, SoFi, high yield savings, I wouldn't be investing all like that. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an entrepreneur that has worked in finance for over 9 years and has an international business. But I'm just telling you my journey and what I invest in. And you should look into it yourself and do the research yourself to understand, okay, what's going on here? What's happening, so that you're not in the dark, because it doesn't help you to be in the dark. There's going to be a time coming to the earth where, just like Joseph's brothers that were in Canaan, then had to go to Egypt, lack of preparation. But thank Yah that Joseph was top of command. Thank Yah that he positioned Joseph, because the Hebrews were not ready. Why? They were too prideful. They were out there, sell Joseph off again on our nerves with that colorful jacket. That little boy, he think he all that. La, 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 la. Lo and behold, 30 years down the line, okay, Joseph, now we're ready to submit and bow down, because now you're top of command. We got to listen because we're hungry. Don't let that be you. Be the Joseph. Don't be the person that becomes hungry because you're too prideful. Pride comes before a fall.
And
learn new information. Don't be comfortable with being ignorant. That's not like bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. I know they like to tell y'all that in America, ignorance is bliss. It's not. It's not.
Because I know that's been coming up a lot.
It's not.
But dang, you just made me forget what I was going to say.
Ignorance is not bliss.
No, dang.
I mean, look at the Chinese folks. Do you think the Chinese believe ignorance is bliss? The Chinese people are so diligent in teaching their children skills. Oh my, you think that people in China believe ignorance is bliss? I'm going to tell you right now, they don't. That's why you can look at the Chinese, they move, they build, they don't waste no time, because ignorance is not bliss. They have a spirit of excellence about them. Americans don't want to hear you say that, but it's true.
Perfection. Yeah, they try to strive to, like really about the little things. Dang, I forgot what I was about to say, babe.
And listen, get this about the Chinese too. Asian communities, get this. They're quiet. There's a whole, I'm going to have to do a whole separate video on this.
Look, just the other day.
Put their heads down. Those people will, like in Proverbs, it says, oh, sluggard, look at the ants and see how they move. They're informed. That's the Chinese folks. They will be so informed. They're not looking to the right. They're not looking to the left. They are going to get the job done with excellence. And the whole world is going to be 50 years behind them. Yep. Because that's how they move. They move with the spirit of excellence. They're not yapping all day, not complaining all day. They see an issue, they're coming with a solution 10 seconds later. And they're doing it quietly. You look up, remember they used to say China was just farmland. Now China's like, whoa, this place, they basically own the earth secretly. America thinks they own the earth, but China owns the earth. Because America's in debt to China and Japan and Great Britain. They don't want to say that on CNN. I'll tell you though, look it up. We'll pull it up real quick. Let's look at the research. America's in debt to who? Japan, China, and Great Britain. So is America the land of the free or the land of the enslaved and debt-ridden?
Think about that.
That's
true right there. That's really true.
Let me know.
But yeah, I forgot what I was about to say, what she was talking about. Because it's ignorance. Like, just don't be ignorant. Like, just know what you're doing. Like, make it simple. Like, everything should be simple. Like, the ignorant people, it's like they don't have an understanding or they don't have control of anything that they do. And that's where a lot of things is headed. That's where a lot of people are headed. So you really got to focus and realize, hey, let me see like how can I not be ignorant? That's something that you gotta. That's something that you have to, figure out.
How can I?
Not be ignorant. Like literally, just the other day, like yesterday, I was waiting on a taxi.
You were funny. You about to make me laugh in tears.
And
How can I not be ignorant?
yeah, for real. And the taxi stopped, where where it could not stop in a way. It
Where
couldn't
wasn't
park.
supposed to stop.
Yeah, it couldn't park there, right? But the taxi was calling me. That was the only time. So you can think like maybe 1-2 minutes the taxi's trying to call, right? And the security come up saying, "Hey, you gotta move." So the taxi going back and forth with him, and I'm like, "Oh, snap! There's a taxi. Let me go get the taxis." I'm with my children, so we going to the taxi. I'm like, "Hello, we are here." So that situation right there, where it's like ignorance, where it's like, okay, it was a misunderstanding. Don't be ignorant about what's going on. Like, it was a mistake. We fixed it right there. It was a simple thing that need to be fixed, and we can go. But the taxi decided to talk and yell at the person that told the taxi to move. And I'm like, dang, like this is ignorance.
Ignorance is not bliss, yo.
It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that. It was very, very simple. It was a simple thing to solve. But some people just don't have that. They allow ignorance to take over.
Yeah, a lack of self-control, for sure. But yeah, so look, y'all, we pulling up the facts again. For those that are not aware, you should be aware. Again, in the internet age, the age of AI, it's too easy to look up facts. There's no excuse. But I'll be graceful and still read the facts so y'all know where to look. America owes 7.6 trillion in foreign debt, and I told y'all which 3 countries it was. As of 2025, the U.S. owes 7.6 trillion to foreign nationals, about 1/3 of the total U.S. debt, which exceeds 34 trillion overall. Japan is America's first foreign creditor. Japan holds the largest amount of U.S. Treasury securities, valued at over 1.1 trillion. Japan buys U.S. debt to stabilize its yen and protect its export economy. We used to also invest heavily in, what was that called? DXY. That's like the code on the stocks. What's that called? Wisdom Tree Japan.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say
Wisdom Tree Japan, okay? That's where people hold their wealth, Japan. Number 2, China is the close second. So everybody's like, they're going to crash China's economy. Guess what? The U.S. is in debt to China. China holds 859 billion in U.S. debt, down from 1.3 trillion a decade. So they're paying it down a little bit. That's good. They've been strategically reducing exposure to minimize risk in case of geopolitical conflict. Number 3, the Crown, the United Kingdom. Okay. Over 700 billion. The UK is the 3rd largest holder of U.S. debt. It uses these bonds to hedge against economic volatility, maintain pound to dollar stability, keep political influence with the U.S. Foreign nations buy U.S. debt to keep America spending because the borrower is always slave to the lender. That's America the Great, enslaved to Japan, China, and the Great British Crown. The U.S. pays over 900 million per day. Yes, I read that right. Per day, not per year, per month, per day. 900 million per day in interest. These are clearly very predatory loans. This includes interest payments to foreign bond holders like China, Japan, and the UK, making them passive profit earners on the American deficit. Debt equals influence. Countries holding large amounts of U.S. debt gain soft power. They can subtly, again, they're being wise and cunning. They can subtly affect U.S. monetary policy, trade decisions, and diplomatic moves. You hear that? Subtle. A synonym for being subtle is being quiet. These are the silent players in the background that own America. And a sell-off could destabilize the dollar. If China or Japan dumped even a portion of their holding.
And they have. Think about that. look up China dumping. I want to say the stocks. It's something that they dumped recently,
look it up.
to 2024. But we're not gonna go too deep into it. But what I was about to say, you gotta realize like what just happened with the U.S. President Donald Trump. Where did he visit? Right? He visited, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Where it's like, you got to realize how he's playing. He's playing these people to pay off the debt, especially with like when you think of look. This is what I always say, y'all. This is what I always say. I always say you got to step back and look at the bigger picture. The things that's happening right now is happening for a reason. Because everything's shifting. Everything's getting handed over. It's getting handed over to America. So that makes me think about how long is it going to take for people to be in the Hunger Games? Put it like that. Because that's what it's going to become, the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is at hand. It's going to be the poor and then the rich. And that's how America is going to be great again. America is just, they want to be the rich. They are inviting the rich. That's just what it is. America's inviting all the rich people. The passport, what was it, $5 million for a passport, for investment passport or golden passport. So just think, if somebody got $5 million just to get a golden passport, they got some money. So the people that's coming there, they are going to be up here. And the people that is in America, they're going to be down here working, trying to survive. It's going to be poor. It's nobody here in this space. It's nobody here in this middle class. It's going to be the rich and the poor. It's going to be Hunger Games.
Wow.
Literally, just go watch. I want to say the second Hunger Games. That's when I realized, like, oh, now I get the Hunger Games. But the first one, it was a good movie, whatever. But the second one made you realize, like, oh, now I see, like, there's the rich people and there's the poor people. And that's just what it's coming down to. That's just really what it's coming down to. So you got to, like, really focus and make sure that you have a skill that whatever the Most High bless you with, whatever talent that the Most High bless you with, that you monetize that. And that's why we are on here right now, to show you, like, hey, you have to realize, hey, you have to do the work. There's nobody else.
Right. Yeah, you got to be accountable. There's nobody else to blame when you don't research. There's nobody else to blame when the only stuff you consume is trash. Just like if you eat potato chips for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, obviously you're not going to be healthy. But you can't blame everybody else. It's due to what you consumed. It's not America's fault you consumed potato chips morning, noon, and night. Just like if you drink alcohol all day, every day, morning, noon, and night, obviously your liver's going to not function. You can't blame everybody else. Well, I live in a society and it's just how. No, that's your fault for what you consume. So be accountable, because at the end of the day, it doesn't look too good. We have some more points here. The petrodollar system keeps this debt cycle alive, and the debt is a national security risk.
And what, not that, but what you were saying before that, it really comes down to, are you going to follow the Most High? Like, how much do you love the Most High? Because in the word, it literally say, are you willing to follow me and forget about your mother, your father, your brother, your sister? It's getting deep, y'all. It's really getting super deep. We got all the information right here, as you see. You can pull it up quick. You got the information. But it really comes down to a spiritual meaning of, how bad do you want it? That's just what it is. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, how bad do you want freedom? How bad do you want to get out of debt? How bad do you want to pass down a legacy to your children? Because again, for the first time ever in the history of Black America, Our people are not getting married. Our people are not repopulating because abortions and all of these things. And so it's like, if you're honest, the trajectory of Black America is it's not going to exist. I hate to tell you, but it's not going to exist. And they know this. That's why they planted the Planned Parenthoods. That's why they planted the abortions. That's why they had all these things in the community. But it's not everybody else's fault that people go out and get abortions. We watched a video. This woman says she had 5 abortions. I'm like, this has got to be, this is why they come up with that terminology, Black fatigue. 5 abortions and then scream, well, it's everybody else's fault. The white man did it. You did it. 5 abortions. That's crazy. That's insane. If you even come in an African economy, be it Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, Mauritius, and you say you have 5 abortions, they would think something is drastically wrong. They would be like, why would you do something like that? That's insanity. That's self-sabotage when you go out and just want to depopulate your own people.
That's demonic.
That's crazy.
That's just opposite of the Most High.
We are at a time where we have more elders in the community that have 0 children, meaning they don't have anywhere to pass down a legacy. That's not wisdom. That's crazy. That's literally insanity. When you come to the east side of the world, people view children and family and marriage covenant as the best thing ever. It's only in America and the UK that you have this perverse, warped view of like, oh, get married 25 times. Okay, not 25. A lot of people are on their 3rd, 4th, and 5th marriage. You know, have these processes. How it's like, this is a matrix. It's like, this is hell on earth in America. If that's not how you define hell, then your definitions are depleted. They're just, you lost the plot. You lost the plot. If you think the best country on earth has the lowest marriage rates, cannot repopulate its citizens, and is bringing in apartheid, that's the best country on earth. We on two different dimensions.
Ooh,
Forget worlds.
that's about
We in
the middle
different
class.
dimensions.
That's about to be the people that's bossing the poor people.
Oh
around.
yeah, apartheid. They about to be the middle class.
Look at the bigger picture, y'all.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
Because this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. A lot of things I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of things happen in seasons, right? What is it? Juneteenth coming up, 4th of July coming up. You get what I'm saying? I don't be thinking about all the holidays, but it's a lot of holidays that's coming up, right? So you gotta. I just did that. You gotta think about like what this second half of the year, right, is going to be something big and something crazy. I'll tell you that. This first half was just a little drip, but now it's about to be a big drop. Put it like that.
Yeah, it reminds me of Psalms 18 where it says, let the foolish be foolish still, let the crooked be crooked still, but let the righteous be righteous still. It's a verse in Psalms 18 that also parallels with Revelations, where we're going to have in society, you're going to have the dumb and the not dumb. And I can't say it any other way, because when you will legitimately be happy about killing children, Black America, when you will be happy about being on your 4th marriage, where you will be happy about not having a legacy to pass down, that's insane. That's the workings of the devil. That's the workings of the adversary. He came to kill, steal, and destroy. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't repent. Obviously, repent and be saved, but stop being in community with that. Stop being in covenant with that. That does not make sense. That's destruction. That's not logical. That's not any way to live. That's not how to be a human. This is why people look at the community, especially in America, and it's like, what is wrong? Like, why are you like this? Why are you doing that? It's so bad now. Even African immigrants will come into America and they're like, why is the community like this? And, you know, a lot of people get mad and say, oh, well, you know, those African immigrants don't like us in America. It's like, no, y'all don't like yourselves when you kill your children. How can anybody like you when you kill your children? There's nothing to like. When you hate the next generation, there's nothing likable about that. It's self-destructive, and other nations can see that. And other nations maneuver and move around and say, okay, I don't want to be a part of that. That's not logical. That doesn't make sense.
Common sense. Common sense.
And yeah, that's hard to hear, but it's harder to realize when you're at the end of your days and the Most High is speaking to you, and he comes up with the scroll of all the things that you should have repented for. And you realize, wow, I have nowhere to pass down my wealth. I'm all alone. I wasted my life away. It's like, choose your hard. It's either hard to hear now and it's easier for you in the long run, or it's easy to hear now and then in the long run, you pay for it. You have to choose your heart. Everybody has to choose their heart. That's the human experience. That's life. Mm-hmm. And like Don P. Ben Yehuda said, they're making arrangements. I forgot about that. They're making arrangements in Rwanda and Libya to ship people out. I don't know how people forget these things, but remember, America started on human trafficking. The land of the brave and the home of the free started based on human trafficking. So when they're in debt, guess what they're going to be practicing again? Human trafficking.
And it's been going on for ever since America started.
And they deport American citizens as well. Bring apartheid in, they said, let them folks stay, but get the rest of these folks out of here.
Call to action.
So yes, this is a great pause to tell you guys, Black Educators Amplify 8-week accelerator is closed. Sorry. Cohort 6, we're currently going through it, going over the website copy, going over the product development to help freelancers live their own life, their best life in Africa, wherever they want to live. But before you can do that, you have to know how to articulate your expertise and your value online so that when you speak to people, they will actually want to buy what you have so you can bring the product to market. Okay. But the good news is our other course, the mini course of Black Educators Amplify, our 8-week Bespoke Accelerator that was created in 2024. We have now created a miniature e-course for those who don't know what their business is yet. You're still testing the waters. You're like, well, I'm not really sure what to do yet. I just want to get my feet wet with creating content that sells. And again, this is not like influencers. This is not creating some type of channel that's just for influencing. This is business development, messaging development, product marketing, taking everything that we have done in corporate America over the past 9 years, packaging it up into the Black Educators Amplified mini course that goes before the 8-week accelerator. It's like pre-qualifying to see if you would be right for the accelerator. Dip your toes in, get your feet wet, start creating content to get your clients in the next 21 to 30 days, create an online presence and say, okay, now that I've started with this piece right here, now I can move into the accelerator. Now I'm more confident. It's like baby steps. Check it out. The link is in the description. We cannot wait to have you in the course.
Yeah, that's it.
Any remaining questions? I think we've been on live for an hour. It went by fast though.
We try to keep it under an hour.
Yeah, we always try to keep it under an hour, but here we are, over an hour. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. Just be aware. Be on code. Don't listen to foolishness. Try to really understand economics. You know, I think a lot of people think that they're too not smart to learn economics, so they have to rely on somebody else. But it's like, pick up a book and read. If you can read, you can learn economics. You can. And it's your duty to do that. Like, we can't be in the dark as a people. When other nations know economics, they know how to trade, they know how to maneuver, they know how to hold their investments, they know when to sell off. We need to also be like that as a community. This is also a great time for you to join members only, which documents our journey throughout East Africa to Mauritius, also showing you guys behind the scenes what we're investing in so that you can make educated and informed decisions and decide if you would like to invest. Do your own research. But it does help to have someone that is ahead of you in investing that's willing to come back and share and say, hey, this is, because quite honestly, we wouldn't be where we are today without the people who are willing to put together curriculum, courses, coaching and mentorship. A lot of people get to the top, then they don't look back to help their community. But we are willing to look back and help the people because a lot of people have done that for us. Business coaches, consultants, finance advisors came back and thought about the little people, thought about the younger generation. And so it only makes sense to package up and do the same thing for our people. Because everybody, we got to get ahead. If people at the top just shut the door and say, I'm not going to tell nobody what I'm doing, I'm not going to create a curriculum, I'm not going to create a program, I don't have time to teach y'all, I don't like y'all, that's self-hate. And it doesn't go very far.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just comes down to, common sense. It comes down to stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. It comes down to, are you smart, or do you want to be a smart person, or do you want to be a wise person? You get what I'm saying? And I always talk like this. You gotta listen, because this is not for dumb people. This is for wise people, right? If you want to be smart, that's okay. Smart people, they're gonna go and do the research themselves, right? Wise people are gonna listen and not make the same mistakes that somebody's trying to tell you. So that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to have people be wise in these last days. Because go ahead, do the smart thing, do the research, make the mistakes, but wise people, they're gonna realize, okay, this person done this, they made the mistakes, they actually are telling me this is the mistake, don't do it. So that's what I had to say, guys.
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Don P. Ben Yehuda. You know that I love y'all. Almost wanted to come to your location, get down with y'all, but my young brother got me on Kenya before we develop the fossil move. We'll connect. Too much gold, my peeps. Yes, family. You never know. Maybe we'll do a vacation to Kenya. We do have to visit Kenya. We've been saying that for months. Kenya is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Kendra Woodruff, before you guys go, I just want to say that I heard what King Ganda said about you guys, and he really pissed me off. I didn't believe anything you said. Thank you, family. Shalom, shalom.
Yes, peace. Really, really peace. Like, this is us. This is us live. Like, this is what it is.
Yes. And, my afro is given today, okay?
Yeah, all
I just
praises.
had to point that.
Look at that. All praise to Most High. That's
You
what
were
it
so
is.
funny.
That's just what it is. Look, this is our time to be right here. Because I don't know if y'all hear the surrounding
I
noise.
don't think they can hear, our children running.
But
they're
it's
having
like,
fun. They're living their best life.
Yeah, when we right here, they going, wow, they woo,
yeah, they're like, we have a 5-bed house. We can, but that's literally like, as a child, I just always wanted such a large house. I wanted so many siblings. I only have one brother. I was just like dreaming, like, man, I would love to have a super large house and so many siblings. So that's what the Most High gave us. We got a super large house, and that's our children have loads of siblings.
Yeah, that's what
running around.
That's what people don't realize. Like, it's really about the children. It's really about the next generation. So, what was said and whatever, but it's really loving your people or hating your people, and that's what it's coming down to. Like, why would somebody do something to hate children?
Because they're the devil, Lucifer in the flesh.
So
that's the only reason you do stuff to hate you. But it goes just back to what we said about
ignorance.
And stuff.
It's ignorance, and it don't make sense. Like, it really don't. Like, when you think about it, it should make a lot of people mad. A lot of people upset, righteously upset, just how Yahusha flipped over the table. You get what I'm saying? That's a righteously, he was righteously mad. Like, I'm not going to get into it. Go ahead.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm done with you.
But yeah, it's really like a divide. That's what I see. It's a divide where some people are just ignorant and just silly fools.
Yeah.
But all praise to the Most High. It's still love for them. It's always love. It's always prayer. It's always, hoping that they have the grace and mercy of the Most High. So all praise to the Most High always.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and we will talk to you in the next video. Make sure you check out our videos. Make sure you check out our recent shorts, our videos, and everything. Here we go.
No.
Go check out.
Oh, no.
Go check out. This is real life. We live, y'all. We
Oh,
live.
my
And
God.
look, go check out the video she did. When was it? Look at that video. What's it called?
Why you gonna expose me?
That was funny. That was hilarious.
Tiffany exposed what?
That was
I
hilarious.
can't-
What
I
video
can't
was
with
that?
these.
Nah, we got. Look, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a bit.
I can't.
What
with these
video was
wasps.
that, babe? You gotta help me.
I don't know.
What
Oh
video
my
was that?
gosh, that wasp, y'all! I can't. These wasps out here, they are big. I'm like, it gives me
Dang,
anxiety.
you gotta tell me
don't-
what video that
I
was.
can't do it. That gives me real anxiety. Like the wasps, I can't do it.
That was. I think I was editing a video or something. It wasn't too much editing, but yeah, it was this one. Go ahead, read it.
We didn't expect this while walking in Mauritius. That's such a fitting title
Yeah.
because I did not expect that bee to pop up like that.
Y'all
And
gotta
they
go
were
see that.
following me. I was like, we need to get, what are bees allergic to that you can spray in your yard? Because y'all know, like,
Where
we
was
live in like a mini jungle, and I'm like, these bees just loving it. We don't have any flowers. I'm like, I don't know why all the bees want to come around. They're trying to get in the house. I like to have the windows open during the day because it's so gorgeous. But it's like you can't even have the windows open because the wasps are gonna come get you.
All right, look, I'm doing y'all a favor. It's a timestamp of 5 minutes. Go look at the video. Say, Matt, comment below and say, I saw the live. Oh man, I'm in tears a little bit because when I was looking at it, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, that was funny, and that was just funny.
I
man.
can't. I really
Look,
can't.
all praise to the Most High, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. Not even enjoy. I hope you guys listen to the information and understand.
Yeah.
You gotta understand what's going on because it's very serious. It is very serious. And what just happened? That's just what just happened with the bee and stuff. That's just joy. That's just like you gotta still have that laughter. You still gotta have that peace. You still gotta have a good time in the crazy world that we're in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Dom P. Ben Yehuda, we go to the mall, I'm like, I can't sit here. We gotta sit somewhere else. It's like 30 wasps. I'm
And I
like,
be
y'all,
killing
we gotta
them
come
all.
up with some kind of spray to get rid of them.
Nah,
Or
I'll
something.
be snapping. I'll do that.
Let's get them out of here, man. Just like when we first moved in, they used to have those tarantula looking spiders. Oh my gosh. And y'all, the way that I sleep, it doesn't matter if it's a small lizard on the wall, a spider. I will wake up out of my sleep and say, babe, you need to kill that. I could have been straight asleep, but my spidey senses start tingling. I'm like, yeah, I was in a deep sleep, but I knew that lizard was going to be above the wall. I knew that big tarantula looking spider. I don't know what they call them out here in Mauritius, what kind of spider it is. But when those, I should have took a video. Oh my gosh, those spiders be big.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny to me.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
but see,
They
we
got
the
little fur on
opposite.
them.
We the opposite.
I'm like, that's a tarantula for real.
Just like this morning, it was like a little tiny centipede, right? And what did I do? I picked it up and I took it outside to let it live its life, right? So we opposite. I don't like to be, it's, even the little mouse that be coming around.
No.
When I feed the birds and stuff, he come out and eat the little bread. She'll be, hey,
That's the only thing
Don't let it
about
go.
living in somewhere that's like a jungle.
kill
Like,
it. And I'm
we
like,
have
no,
so
it's
much
hungry.
nature around us. Like, oh wow, like dang, it's beautiful. But you also gotta watch your step. We be walking back in those fields. I'm like, I be thinking in my mind, I'm like, I hope a snake don't come out.
Me,
These
me too.
fields
I don't
look
like
big.
snakes.
They're like, ooh.
We'd definitely kill a snake.
Because you remember that one time we were in Pangani, Tanzania. We were looking at properties over there, and this huge snake was on a boba tree. And the Tanzanian guy, he's telling us, he's like, yeah, one time what he said, a cobra bit him. They had to chop off his finger. I said, oh my God. I said, we got to get out. We got to go
man.
turn around. Like, why would you tell me that? We walking out here, the snake up on the tree. He talking about, and he was a Maasai tribe, I think. He was saying, yeah, there was no hospital in the village. They had to chop his hand. I was like, as a child, I said, we got to turn around. We can't be out here. This ain't it.
I think.
Can't do it.
Look, comment below, guys. I want to at least have 2 comments. At least 2 comments. If you guys enjoy our story times, because I feel like this would be a good idea to have story time on live. Like,
I was gonna
we
say
got some
video.
Nah, live is better because we can like actually like be live. Yeah, you see, we opposite. So.
Yeah, our story times be intense.
Yeah, our
man.
story.
Like,
we got some stories. We got some stories. So
man.
yeah, but
They're
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Great stories. You know,
great,
one
funny.
time we almost fell off the mountain. My gosh, in the rain, the truck came at just the right time. Our village people came and saved us. It was raining. Oh my, we were 7,000 feet in the air, y'all. They came real quick around the corner. Shout out to Magaroto in Tonga, Tanzania. Shout out to Magaroto. They are the best. But don't go up there in the rain, okay? Don't do it.
Yeah, please look.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, don't
that
do
was something else.
We
That
were
was something
praying.
else.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I gotta wipe my eyes because I had this oil on my face. Now my eyes burning. Child. Oh my goodness. That, yeah. You gotta be careful in the mountains in the rain. It's like, that wasn't no joke. It makes for a great story, but it's no joke. Yes, you can have an apple. Okay, careful.
All right, guys, that's the sign. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll talk to you in the next video. What you want to keep going?
Shalom, shalom.
Oh,
Have a blessed day.
Shalom, family.